So what's it like going from sports bikes to a cruiser? In today's video, I just wanted to give you guys my opinion on what it's like going from sports bikes to cruisers. So I've been riding since I was a teenager, pretty much all sports bikes, either full sports bikes, naked sports bikes, or supermotos. So this Harley Street Bob was my introduction into cruisers. I had some preconceived ideas about what it was like and what the bikes were like in general. I think every sports bike guy, not that I want to put myself in that camp, but everyone has this sort of idea of cruisers are slow and fat and heavy and they don't handle and stuff like that. I mean, some of it's true, but most of it doesn't seem to matter. I really bought the Street Bob because I just really like the way it looked and I like the sound. I mean, they sound pretty cool. So right now I have this, and I have my Aprilia, obviously, if you follow the channel. Probably not, because it's pretty new and nobody watches my videos. So the thing with sports bikes and me is I tend to get a bit carried away and get myself into trouble. I'm going to do heaps of track days now, which is going to be nice, so I can kind of let it out on the track. Sometimes I just want to go for a ride to the beach or whatever, like this I'm doing right now. It's a nice sunny day, and I just want to cruise along, feel the bike, and listen to the sound and just enjoy it without feeling like I've got to get my knee down in the corners. It's just that experience of riding something that has the sound, and I don't know, it has the old school feel, but it's a modern bike with fuel injection and all that kind of stuff. Let's talk about handling. So in terms of low speed handling, around the city and car parks and stuff, I actually find this bike way easier, which really surprised me. The weight is all so low that it's not really a problem unless you really tip it. Getting around the city and stuff, and because of the gearing, you can go quite slowly in first gear, and yeah, it's just really maneuverable. I can't believe I'm saying that about the Harley, but yeah, I was wrong about that. It's really maneuverable and really easy to get around traffic. Obviously this is a Street Bob, so it's slimmer than a lot of the other Harleys you can get. This is a stripped down bike, which is why I got it, because I like that look. So yeah, slow speed maneuvering is great. On the twisties like this, you can still have heaps of fun. It does bottom out, I've scraped the pegs heaps and scuffed all the bottom of them. You do have to be a little bit careful because the brakes, well, they work, they're no Brembos, and the bike is heavy. You've got to be a little bit careful coming into corners a bit hot, and then realizing you've run out of lean angle. These bumpy roads kind of lead me on to the next point, is the suspension. Now obviously a lot of this stuff is only going to apply to this Harley, this Street Bob. It doesn't have the best suspension, the Lowrider S is better. I've never ridden the bigger Road Kings and stuff, so I don't know what they're like. So yeah, the suspension is really hard. It's not the most comfortable bike, and it's probably one of the least comfortable Harleys, I'd imagine, but I wanted it because of how it looks. It's a badass looking bike. I like that stripped down bobber look. And I have the Renegade Solo seat from Saddleman as well, which has made a little bit of a difference. You'll be putting fuel in it before you're super uncomfortable, so you're gonna have to stop anyway. Power wise, I love this bike. I don't know, it's people say Harleys are real torquey, and hear people say how much power they have. I mean, yeah, it's torquey for sure. It's all down low, which is kind of the best bit. It's the power is all instantly, 2000 RPM. It feels, you get a good pull back in the seat. It runs out on the top end. I know you can get different cams, a power cam for better power up high, or a torque cam for lower power. I think I'm going to lean into the whole torquey engine thing and get the torque cam stage 2 kit on this, because it's what I like about the bike. I like being able to just punch it down low. I wouldn't call this a fast bike. You can't go quick on it, but it's more about that muscle power, it's all there straight away. Very different feel. It's like a big V8. It doesn't have riding aids or anything, so that you don't have traction control. All I have is ABS, which you have to have in New Zealand here now, so you have no traction control. That's caught me out once, coming around the lights on a slightly damp road and it had a bit of a drift around the corner. But I guess that's part of the fun as well, having all that torque and no traction control. I haven't done like a burnout on it or anything, but I'm sure it would do a mean one. I think the thing with these Harleys, but just cruisers in general, I mean, a lot of bikes will give you this kind of feeling like Indians, this style of like big engine V-twin cruiser. It's everything in a package. It's like the sound and the low down power and the look, the feel of riding it. You kind of feel like a badass on it. You feel cool riding it. I mean, it's a bit of a douchey thing to say, but come on, you feel cool riding this bike. And that sound, man. Anyway, we're here at this cafe, the best cafe out west, Sozo Coffee. Let's get a coffee and then I'll see you guys in a minute. Oh, that was good. Toasted sandwich, a bit fancier than that. And a nice coffee. Now to the camera shop. If you'd asked me a couple of years ago would I buy a cruiser, I probably would have said no. I have always been real interested in like custom bobbers, like chopped up old school bikes that, you know, you do in your garage, like cafe races, and making your own bobber. I have always been kind of interested in that, but you know, I would have made it myself. Would I have thought I'd be buying like a new Harley? No way. You know, I thought I was going to buy the Indian, to be honest. It just didn't work out that way. When I was looking between the Indian Scout bobber and this one, I do like this one has a bigger motor. I like the air-cooled sound and the lower down power over the Indian, which is like water-cooled, and you know, it still sounds insane, awesome. I seriously would have considered the Chief bobber, the Indian Chief bobber, but there's just none in dealers like anywhere. I ended up going for this, and I'm stoked with it. You know, I'd probably be saying the same thing if I bought the Indian Scout bobber, so it's really just whatever you like. I think all manufacturers make bikes that are so good now that it really doesn't matter. Just pick the one you like the look of and the sound of, pick the one that you like riding and buy it. You know, I don't think you'll go wrong really. So we're about to head on the motorway now. It is quite windy. Sports bikes, you tend to be leaned over more and you kind of lean into the wind, and because your chest is like facing into the wind more, leaning into the wind more, you're, let's get a sound. Nice. So because you lean into the wind more on like a naked sports bike, the wind kind of holds you up and it's not as hard, whereas this bike, because I'm like a wind sail, this one in particular, because I don't have any like fairing, there's no wind protection at all, it's probably not a good example. You know, you can get like a Road King or something, which is going to be way better. So right now at 100, it's really not that bad actually. If you're riding into the wind, it can be quite savage. But it's not very windy today for once. It's actually fine. But we're pretty much getting off the motorway straight away anyway, so. I do find that other traffic does tend to get out of the way more. I don't know if it's like a stereotype with like Harley riders or something. Let's pull over here and have a look. So here it is. It's pretty dirty. I went through some savage rain a couple of days ago. You know, if you're looking at getting a Harley and you've been a sports bike rider forever, like I said, I definitely recommend trying it out. I think you'd be surprised. I think most people would be surprised with how they are and like the feeling you get. I think I'm probably going to change the exhaust. This one is plenty loud enough. I just want one that has a bit more of that like throaty Harley sound. So I'm looking at like the big radius ones or the short shots or something like that. But yeah, anyway, that's my thoughts on buying a Harley after all these years of riding sports bikes. I still want to do some things to this bike, like different modifications and stuff, but yeah, overall I'm really happy with it. So, but anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Let's do one more startup and we'll see you in the next one. Love that sound.